There it is behind me. I'm just walking out here talking to the Lord and just seeing what he's saying. And at first, when I first started walking out here, it hasn't been a lot of rain. It's been a really hot summer here in Texas, so a lot of the water has evaporated. And as you can see, there's a lot of sandy beach now, where I don't know that there's always this much sand that's exposed. So what's happened is, as I'm walking along, I'm seeing these shells that have the water has receded enough, and it left these shells out of the water. And I'm finding some kind of buried and some just laying on top, and they're so beautiful. There's this very beautiful purple iridescent color on the inside. And here's a small one that looks kind of like a pearl white on the inside. And then, you know, they look kind of rough on that outside, the part that protects them. And the Lord is just telling me that there are so many people in the church who just kind of feel dry, and they're washed up on the shore, or the water has receded, and they become dried up inside. You know, there used to be living organisms inside here. And the church kind of gets used to that. They go to church every Sunday and then do the 9 to 5 through the week, and the next Sunday they come back to church, and they just get used to just doing the same thing and just laying there in the sand and in the sun. And it's like survival mode. I found one that was barely in the water, and I could see there was a living organism still in it. And I threw it out farther into the water, hoping that it would have a chance of survival. But I'm picking up some of these shells, a lot of them actually, because I think there's a lot of people in the church that are looking for something more, that are looking to have the mud and the dried sand and all of the stuff that's built up on them, to kind of have this stuff removed, to reveal the beauty that's inside, and to bring new life. Jesus came for abundant life. He didn't come that we could just go to church once a Sunday and feel like we're getting something out of it and just to survive another week. He came for us to live abundantly and thrive. So I'm going to take some of these shells home, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'm going to clean them up, maybe put them on display, like in a little basket or something. I don't really know. And you may not really know what the Lord wants to do with you. But he has more for you. He wants to clean you up. The places where the world has dumped on you, the places where life has receded from you. He wants to pour his life upon you and cleanse you and wash you and bring you into purpose. I think that's the word the Lord has for today. He wants to wash off the things of the world and bring you into purpose. You were created for a purpose. Once I brought these shells in and I washed them off, look at the beautiful coloring inside.
Oh, I could see it through the mud.
Just like the way God made them.
Yep.
And some of them were really hard to get the stuff off on the inside.
Just like with us.
We're not going to all clean up perfectly right away. There's going to be hurts and things that sometimes we hold on to, or sometimes Jesus just wants to take his time. Doesn't do everything very quickly. He's patient and kind with us.
I can't hear all this you're saying, but it sounds really good. I want to know.
Look at the brilliant color, just like there's brilliant color inside of each one of us that the Lord has planted there. When he knitted you together in your mother's womb. You know, there was a couple of shells where these pieces came off of the back, and not one of these shells broke apart. They're all still in pairs. So even when these pieces came off, it didn't change the functionality of it. And I feel like sometimes there's traumas and hurt and things in the past that we're afraid to let go of. We're afraid to forgive. We're afraid to let Jesus into that place. Just let it go. And let the beauty that God has created shine through so that you can be released into purpose. Look at the back of these shells. Sometimes you would say, like, so pretty on the inside, but then when you turn it over, we would say that that's not as pretty, perhaps. Just like some of us might look at our outer selves and say we're not beautiful because we're aging, or because our nose looks like this, or, you know, whatever. But the word says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Look how pretty that is, actually. It's got a uniqueness to it that is so much different than any of these other shells. Look at the patterns. We all have different outer shells that, though maybe we don't like exactly what it looks like, they were made for a purpose. And they're beautiful just the same. So these shells are going to sit here and dry. They've gone through the cleaning process. And now, right now, you can see is the back side, but they're turned upside down so that they can dry. It's like sometimes we go through a cleaning process with the Lord, and he gets all of the hurt, the wounds off. And then sometimes we just need to rest. Sometimes we just need to let the Lord sovereignly work. Let evaporation do its job, right? Just let the shells dry. I could dry them with a towel, or I could just let them rest here for a minute and just let the Lord do it naturally. Some of you are in a season of rest, and you just need to let the Lord just minister to you and love on you, and then send you out into the purpose that he's called you for. This one's kind of buried in the sand, and I just couldn't get it out. The dirt is too hard. But I rinsed off these two shells in the water, and now I can use the shells that have been cleaned off. I can use them to dig out this shell. So when Jesus cleans you, you're then equipped to get the next one free. So this one, really not too bad on the inside. Maybe just a little bit of, feels stuck. A little bit of cleaning needed on the outside. But so when Jesus heals up the trauma and the lies and the wounds of your past, it sets you free, you're then equipped to set others free.